So everyone's always like, have a family, get a house, have a mortgage, have a job. And I'm like,
In 2017, a group of friends got together to set up a multi-million-pound business.
Is what I'm doing special? No.
The young team want to prove that permaculture principles can sustain a dynamic business.
What we're doing is special.
On a hillside in Wales, this ambitious operation is gradually evolving.
Directly behind us is the Ortega. So that is a Spanish white wine grape.
when the festivals are on, this is full of like the festival crew camping, and it's full of life.
I want to know how they pulled off something this big. What's next? And whether they can keep it all on the rails.
We're doing everything we possibly can at the moment in terms of the events, in terms of the farming, the butchery, to make this place profitable.
How do you build resilience into the systems? Small individual decisions are not actually going to make a difference. It's large-scale decisions that make a difference.
In the landing films, I explore the ambitious projects working to restore the land and run businesses that bring us back together.
One of the things I love about farms is that they send you back in time. You can't really escape the elements here, and you can't escape the realities of practical life. It's about manual labour and it's about the seasons. So even though the Three Pools team are taking a new approach, they are also bound to the ancient laws of farming.
How do you create a more ecologically functional landscape that's food producing? And it's like, there's this thing called like using natural systems, which if they're working, does most of the things that engineers want to happen. The whole business design of it was around bringing people in and using events to fund the transition from one farming system to another. No one really knows how to make farmers change their behaviour. I had the naivety or arrogance to think that I could have a go at it. Can't imagine doing something different. I get to live a lifestyle which is radically different to most. I have control over it, and I have a sense of purpose because I'm doing the thing that I think is the potentially best solution for many of the problems that are facing society in terms of climate breakdown.
So it's one of those sunny, rainy Wales days. One of the things that's really amazing about this place is how they combine permaculture principles with party culture.
The events is the financial bedrock that gives us freedom to farm in a different kind of way.
Could you paint the vibe?
Dark, loud, sweaty.
And the vision for the place is to really create a culture of collaboration and a community that can have fun whilst regenerating the land. 80% of the farming produce goes into the events business, so they've created a really effective closed loop to try and maximize their margins.
The flip side of the permaculture affecting the party culture is how does the party culture affect the permaculture? The power of permaculture is you can apply it to much more than just a farming system. People that would never have come across sustainable food or sustainable farming haven't really thought about what food or farming is at all, and how that might affect their health or like future of life on Earth. They might suddenly realize something exists, and that has lots of potential positive effects on the world.
Having fun is a big part of the farm's identity, but the team also have one eye on the future.
Small individual decisions are not actually going to make a difference. It's large-scale decisions that make a difference.
In a sense, Three Pools is one of a few very small safety nets for a world in crisis.
It's a place for young people to relax, recharge, and reconnect with each other. So I'm here at Three Pools for the first day of Farm Curious, which is an event for people to come and experience different aspects of the farm. How it all intermingles to create what I think is a really special place.
People are really story driven, humans are very story driven, and so actually they need to have the textures, the senses, the colour, the images. Like, we all have different things that we need in a story, create our own story. I also think we've got really prone to having very short stories in our culture. I think farming is a long story, so it's like, how do we become more capable?
So every day that a cow is alive is producing methane, carbon dioxide equivalent. So they say the longer a cow lives, the more its lifetime carbon emissions, carbon equivalent emissions. The flip side of thinking about it from carbon is thinking about what it eats and the landscape that it exists in. The farm and the fields in which it's lived in hasn't had any fertiliser, is native grasses, supports biodiversity better, sequesters more carbon in the soil from the way the grass is managed. So does that offset the more methane emissions from having a longer lifespan?
And you probably learn more if you make the mistakes as well, so then you can know.
Yeah, it's a lovely way of like making up for anything you've done wrong. Like, yes, I learned something. Yeah. For me, biodiversity is essentially the most important measure on a farm. You want a mosaic of different habitats. Biodiversity and wildlife is like part of the beauty and joy of like living on Earth.
Perhaps more impressive than raising the funds is defining a culture between the on-site crew that just seems to work. It's warm and friendly and functional without slipping into too many hippie cliches. Lauren is one of the lucky few to live on site. She manages the Sunday roast in winter, the weddings in the summer season, and all kinds in between.
So everyone's always like, have a family, get a house, have a mortgage, have a job, and I'm like, Amazing.
Gosh, I've never seen a pear tree like this.
I know, it's huge. It's the biggest one in the UK, I think. The oldest, at least. When the festivals are on, this is full of like the festival crew camping, and it's full of life and insects and butterflies and people, and it's great. But I love the winter because it's just me. Everyone empties out the orchard and it becomes a completely different space. It's just me alone in my yurt, which I love. It does make it hard to do that, like when it's really raining and you're carrying like 2 big things of water and you're slipping around the mud. It's just like, it's part of the fun. People, I think, want to come and stay here. I don't think they realise that it's not really, it's more of a cohesive family that works together than like just a house where you would rent a room. It's not really that vibe. It's very much like you kind of work your way into the community by being an active community member and contributing. You know, we are a business, but we're also a community, and I think it's very much like we are a family. And one of the reasons I love living here is because I feel so held and supported, and there's no way I could achieve the things that I've achieved this year without the support of the people that I live and work with.
The wait list to be involved is enormous, so they must be doing something right. And that's the big lesson from Three Pools. Do it with joy, have fun. It's chaotic and risky, but it's also incredibly rewarding.
It's probably one of the most common bits of feedback we get from people is like, oh, this is inspirational. The fact that you went and just did it. So yeah, if we can encourage people to go out and do something different, that's great.
The 5 projects I've profiled in the landing films show 5 very different approaches. The deeper I go, the more projects I discover, like Ford Hall Farm, Heavens Valley, or Project Camp in Portugal. If you found any of these films inspiring, please like, subscribe, share, and follow along for a new season, exploring new ways of building businesses and communities that bring us back together.